In the following clip, the intrepid journalist Michael Schellenberger explains to us that there are Chinese kill switches embedded in the solar panels manufactured in China that fill our solar farms in the United States. No joke.
It's now been revealed that the Chinese, who manufacture virtually all of our solar panels, both in the United States and Europe, they have been installing cellular radios inside the inverters, which can act as kill switches. And you might think, well, that sounds like a conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy theory. There was actually a Chinese solar company that turned off the solar panels and sent up a little message to its users saying we've turned this off because these solar panels are only authorized to be used in certain countries. They can't be used in Pakistan, the United States, and a few other countries. It popped right up on the monitor. There was a huge discussion about it. So we know that the Chinese solar companies, all of which are essentially can be used as arms of the Chinese military. There's really no daylight between them. The Chinese government has made it clear that they can be viewed as extensions of the Chinese security state.
No, this is far from conspiracy theory. This is literally right out of the Chinese military playbook. And I mean literally. There is a book called Unrestricted Warfare. It was written by two colonels in the Chinese army in 1999, I believe. I've been talking about this for over 2 decades. It's a fascinating book. And the thing I remember about it is within the book, again, is written by these two colonels. Okay, they talk about how China can use all sorts of new and novel means to achieve their warfare ends. And the thing that I remember from this book was them talking about how like they could manufacture toasters. And then if there was a chip in the toaster, I'm not saying that this is the case, okay, but this was in the book. The chip in the toaster, like one day, the Chinese could just decide, they're going to war with the United States, and they just flip a switch and all the toasters like catch on fire all over the country. Okay, I know this sounds nuts, but it's in the book. It is literally in the playbook.
They are able to switch off large amounts of solar, and if you are able to do that, then you are able to cause the depowering and thus the blackouts of the grid. How big of a problem is this? We don't know. I mean, we know that these capacity exists in the inverters. Obviously, the Chinese government wants to continue to be able to sell solar panels to us. I think most national security experts view this as something that the Chinese could do if there was, for example, an invasion of Taiwan and the United States decided to defend Taiwan. The Chinese could potentially trigger blackouts in the United States and Europe. As crazy as that sounds, that is the reality, and in fact,
really, that doesn't sound that crazy. If we were to go to war over Taiwan, I would expect the Chinese to do exactly that, plus many, many other things. I'd be willing to bet that our national security community fully expects such things.
There's not any debate about that. That's where we're at. And so the only question now is, how is the United States government responding to that? I've asked, haven't yet gotten answers from the Department of Energy, but we're hoping to get that within a few days, actually.
Give me a picture of how is it that China achieved total dominance in basically this technology, in manufacturing this technology?
Because the United States was in dream world. We're in dreamland. Obviously they're able to make solar panels cheaper than anywhere in the world, in large part due to the
Slave labor under the communist dictatorship is helpful in that regard.
Coerced labor from these Uyghur Muslims who are in these concentration camps. Again, not a conspiracy theory. This has been very well reported. That's where the vast amount of solar cell manufacturing and panel manufacturing is occurring, are in those areas. We know the Chinese government has been massively subsidizing the investment on solar, precisely so they can dump the solar panels in other countries to destroy other nations' indigenous solar manufacturing. And then we've been in dream world. We've imagined that it's okay to let the Chinese manufacture not just solar, but I mean, we're talking drones, we're talking critical military technology. I mean, imagine the country that we're most likely to go to war with or have some wars with, whether they're proxy wars or direct wars, is the country upon which we're dependent for our military technology.
That we expose ourselves like this goes back decades. Republican administrations, Democrat administrations, it doesn't matter. They all screwed up, okay? The Chinese know exactly what they pulled over the past quarter century. They are near rivals to the United States on a global scale at this point. And a lot of that is because we haven't taken them as seriously as we need to. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people in policy circles who have taken the Chinese very seriously, all right? But not enough people. Everyday people. We need to realize that the Chinese see us as an adversary. Now, we say this even though we are vehemently anti-war. War is a racket. A lot of cronies make a lot of money off of the blood spilled in the mud of normal everyday people. That's what war too often is all about. But we can't play with the Chinese. They're not playing with us. We need to be deadly serious with them, especially as things are ramping up around the globe right now.